India's Operation Sindoor has reset the rules of engagement between India and Pakistan when it comes to cross-border terror. It has indeed set up a new parameter and a new normal. Operation Sindoor is perhaps India's policy against terrorism, not just militarily, but diplomatically and psychologically as well. It is India's calibrated military response to an evolving pattern of asymmetric warfare, one that increasingly targets unarmed innocent civilians. Let's now tell you about how Operation Sindoor has reshaped ties with Pakistan by raising cost for cross-border terrorism and asserting that Operation Sindoor is not over yet. Number one, India will strike hard. Any terror attack on India will be met with a firm and resolute response. A robust military response is the new normal. Any terror attack will be retaliated with a strong military response. Number two, no distinction. India has clearly sent out a message to the world that it will only interact with Pakistan on two issues. Firstly, on the issue of terrorism, and second, on the issue of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Time and again, the international community has put the onus on India to prove that the terrorists not only came from Pakistan, but were also sponsored by the Pakistani establishment. It was, yet again, the same story when the Pahalgam terror attack happened. The international community kept asking India for proof and refused to demand accountability or action from Pakistan against its terrorists. Not just that, they went one step further and asked both the countries to de-escalate, as if India had escalated the situation. However, with Operation Sindoor, India has called all this bluff and put the onus on Pakistan to prove that they did undertake the terror attack which the Pakistani establishment has been harping over. India has now made it clear that it will not differentiate between the government sponsoring terrorism and the masterminds of terror, which means there would be no differentiation, no distinction between terror sponsors and terrorists. And of course, if Pakistan needs to survive, it needs to demolish all terror hubs. Thirdly, India will not tolerate nuclear blackmail. It will not tolerate any kind of nuclear bogey. And any terror attack will be dealt with severely. Like the Prime Minister said, terror and talks, blood and water, it clearly cannot go hand in hand. New Delhi has clearly asserted that water and blood cannot flow together, referring to the international community that if Pakistan wants relations with India, it needs to demolish all terror hubs. Now, what makes Operation Sindoor a game changer is not just the scale of India's retaliation, but the clarity of its messaging. The era of strategic restraint is over, and India now operates on a doctrine of calibrated escalation. Pakistan can no longer assume that proxy attacks will go unanswered. India has also set a precedent for future responses to cross-border terrorism. Now, this shift from dissuasion to deterrence indicates a more assertive stance in safeguarding national security. Moreover, the operations demonstrated India's ability, signaling that no territory, no region is beyond reach. Let's now unpack the rationale behind Operation Sindoor. Number one, assertive deterrence. Drawing red lines clearly defines thresholds which, if crossed, would provoke a strong response. After the 2016 Uri attack, India launched surgical strikes. And after the 2019 Pulwama attack, India responded with Balakot strikes. Hence, these actions were India's way of signaling intolerable provocations and establishing military and diplomatic deterrence. The number two, shifting from strategic restraint to proactive posture. Launching Operation Sindoor signals a shift to a more proactive and punitive approach. It sends a message that India will not remain passive. Thirdly, geopolitical signaling. Red lines also functions as signals that India can and will act independently if the need arises. Now, can this new doctrine break the India-Pak deadlock? India's experience with Operation Sindoor shows that the only conceivable option is to give Pakistan a taste of its very own poison. But there cannot be certainty about the results. Pakistan is not internally stable and it can politically implode from within. Prime Minister Modi asserted this week that India will not succumb to Pakistan's nuclear blackmail. Such a declaration can perhaps serve to underline the government's commitment to protect the country's interests and show its determination not to be deterred.
जब हमारी फौजें न्यूक्लियर ब्लैकमेल की धमकी की हवा निकाल देती है, तो आकाश से पाताल तक एक ही बात गूंजती है, भारत माता की जय.
Also, India's fight against terrorism is now a part of national defense doctrine. And it is not just a matter of security, it has now become a part of the national defense doctrine. And in the words of India's defense minister, we will root out this hybrid and proxy warfare. Rajnath Singh made it clear that the Operation Sindoor is not yet over.
साथियों, एक और बात मैं यहाँ साफ कहना चाहूँगा कि ऑपरेशन सिंदूर अभी खत्म नहीं हुआ है. जो कुछ भी हुआ है वह सिर्फ एक ट्रेलर मात्र था. अब समय आएगा, जब भी सही समय आएगा, तो हम पूरी पिक्चर भी दुनिया को दिखाएंगे.
Our actions were just a trailer and we will show the full picture if need be. Because attacking and eliminating terrorism is the new normal of the new India.